Hey everyone, welcome to TG Garage Talks podcast. My name's Chachi Averett. I'm the host alongside Matt Vaught and the Godfather himself, Corey Smith. We are helping young men navigate the wilderness of their lives and their faith. Thanks for joining us. Let's get to it.
Well, hey everybody, I'm here with my friend Austin Coogan from Virginia Tech. We've been, one of the things that we love to do is take guys out into the wilderness on some adventures. And this spring we've had the incredible opportunity to take a bunch of guys on their first turkey hunts. There's something different about a hunting experience rather than just taking a hike in the woods. I think it's a totally different element. It ups the game. So it is one of my favorite things to do is to get guys out into the woods, listening to the birds wake up in the morning, chasing turkeys. And this morning, Austin killed his first turkey on literally his first time out. Like literally had never been on a hunt before. So if you're a turkey hunter, you're like, seriously, come on. But it happened. And it's incredible. We'll put pictures. We need to put pictures in this podcast so you see it.
Yeah.
He's got the marks on his face from his first kill. It's incredible. We're gonna eat that bird, mount it, put it on the wall, all the things. It's so great.
Right.
We are pumped. So I thought it would be cool for Austin just to share a little bit about his story, how he got here, what the experience was like from last night to this morning, and then maybe like how that begins to translate a few takeaways in your own journey with the Lord. So hi everybody, Austin.
Yeah, hey everybody. So it's crazy. So I first heard about the way I got even involved in this was back in January. I got to Virginia Tech, obviously. Back in January, a friend of mine texted a group of us and was like, hey, there's a Young Life event going on tonight. And he said, there's this guy I know.
Young Life?
Yeah, Young Life's how I heard about it. So
really?
I heard about this through Young Life.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it is true. I swear. It wasn't Young Life. He said there's this guy that I know who's connected with Young Life, like in some way. He is part of this organization called Training Ground. He's coming to do a cookout or something, and you should pull up. It texts like a bunch of us. That's how I first heard.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, okay. So
it's totally random.
So I just wanted the food, honestly. So I showed up, and Matt was there. And there was a ton of guys there, and they were doing these raffles for like free stuff. So you could put your name in like a cup to win, like it was like a retreat, a turkey hunt, and some other things.
Free guided turkey hunt, a guided fly fishing trip.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was.
A fly rod. Like, there were a few things like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so since I was just there, I put my name in the raffle because, like, why not? And for some context, like, I'm not really like a big, like, I don't know. I'm more of like an indoors city type person, I guess. I don't know if I'd say city, but like I'm not like out in the wilderness all the time. So I'm not super experienced. Like he had said, the last time I shot a gun was like 8 years ago, like once. And I've never been hunting, and it's not even something I would normally do. So I honestly was not expecting to like win anything in the raffle. I was just like put my name in there kind of as like whatever. So I did. Obviously I I won the raffle to the turkey hunt, and
I remember talking to you that night.
Yeah, and all these people were like, "Hey, congrats, man! That's so cool. You're so lucky." And I was like, "What?" Like I don't even know really what I just won, and I wasn't planning on going hunting, but because I won it, I was like, "Well, I feel like I should now. I mean, if I won it, like, I should." So fast forward to now.
Wait, that night. So that night you literally came up and were like, okay, I won this. Just so you know, I have literally never done this in my life.
I did say that.
Heads up, full of like, absolutely. Like, you're exactly the right guy to win it then. That's so great.
Yeah. I felt bad, honestly, because there were people there who I knew like had hunted a ton and were like, oh man, I wish I had, like they were disappointed they didn't get to win it. And meanwhile, it was like no sacrifice to me to lose it. Like I didn't really feel like I was losing anything if I hadn't won it. So I don't know. Anyway, so you fast forward to like now, and that was back in January. Now it's May, so we coordinated, and I ended up coming here. And I really had no idea what to expect. Like on the drive here, I was nervous about shooting a gun. I was pretty nervous about that. I was nervous about just like killing a turkey. Like I'm kind of a sensitive guy. Am I gonna like feel bad afterwards? Like I
Sure.
don't, I don't know
That's
if I'm,
normal.
I don't know if I'm gonna feel guilty or what's gonna happen. And so I was just feeling that. So we got here and you went over some like guns safety stuff with me, like showed me how
Mhm.
to use the shotgun and uh like how to be safe with it. And I was nervous during that. I was really nervous like firing the shotgun the first time. Um just kind of getting used to it. And I was uncomfortable, but I got a little bit more comfortable over time, but I still wasn't like really fully at peace with it. And then when we were in here after all the gun safety stuff, I was talking to you and I said, like, so, what are like the chances of us like actually getting a turkey? Do you expect us to actually get one? And I was honestly asking because I was afraid of shooting one. And so I was hoping he was going to be like, oh, probably not going to happen, first time, whatever. And you didn't really say that, but you said it was rare. And so I was like, I kinda gave you some peace a little bit. I was like, "Oh, okay, so I
Alright,
probably
like,
won't."
oh, it's probably not gonna happen. Okay, okay.
We probably won't even, like,
Oh,
get
that's
close to
interesting.
one. Yeah, so I didn't
Yeah,
tell you that part of it, but yeah,
yeah,
but I was
very
like,
cool.
"So we probably won't even have to deal with one, it'll be fine."
Yeah, like, I have guys who, like I was telling you this morning, like, who I've taken hunting 5 years and have finally killed their first turkey. Like, it is a really hard thing to do. It's not
Yeah.
like going on a squirrel hunt,
Mm.
it is really, really tough. So the chances
Yeah.
of actually putting all the pieces together, learning all the things, learning gun safety, turkey hunting, turkey safety, all of like how the ins and outs work, and then putting it all together and having a turkey do the right thing and do what he's supposed to do
Yeah.
and come in and then actually hitting the turkey
Yeah.
and killing it. Like,
Right?
yeah, it's like a 1% chance. Like, let's
Yeah.
be honest. For
Yeah,
sure.
so yeah, he didn't say it like that to me last night, but
No, it's much more kind last night. Yeah.
but but I got the vibe though that it was rare, so I kind of like settled my nerves a little bit. I was like, "Oh, okay, we probably won't have to deal with one or whatever." But I was still a little bit nervous thinking about it going to bed. So then we got up early. We got up at like 4:30, and then we drove out there, and we got to the farm we were gonna do the hunting, and we were just walking for a bit. And we got there, I guess like slightly late. It was like there was a little bit of light kind of coming, and you were talking about how
They hadn't
like
flown down off the roofs yet, but it just gets daylight so early in May. It's just a killer. It's just so hard
mhm.
to get there in time. So, yeah.
So he was saying that. So in my mind, I'm kind of subconsciously feeling like, "Oh, this is good. Like we're late. Probably missed our, chance or whatever." Not
What?
actually, not
No.
actually. Like I wanted, like there was sort of a torn. Like part of me wanted to like be adventurous and do something, but the other part of me was like afraid and was like felt slightly relieved.
Okay.
So that was kind of the where I was at with
Uh-huh.
that. But so
Mhm.
then we were kind of started going in the woods, and, um, we couldn't, like, I mean, you would have the hunting details down better than me, but,
Totally, that's fine.
yeah, like, we couldn't hear any calls initially for a while, and the few we did were, like, sounded really far away. So we were kind of setting up and then moving really rapidly and then setting up and running around a lot. Um,
Just trying to get into close the distance. Like, yeah, they were gobbling off the limb and they were like 1,000 yards away. I mean, they were
yeah.
way up the mountain. I was like,
Yeah,
we gotta get rolling. Like, we
yeah,
gotta cut the distance big time before they shut up. And so,
yeah.
yeah, we were pushing hard and
Mhm.
to get up the mountain and at least get into a place where we could figure out where they were gobbling from. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then once we kinda got closer and got set up in our last spot, um, I started to feel a bit more tension because we were closer and we could hear them a little bit closer, like, still, like, across, like, a valley, like, seemed like they were on another ridge, but it's still, like, closer than we had been before, and I started to feel some tension of, like, oh shoot, I actually might have to shoot something.
Okay, so we set up on this ridge. The bird is on the next ridge over, but it's a poke. I mean, he's probably 400 yards away.
Yeah.
Like and I was kind of like, we're probably gonna have to move on this bird, but let's see. It's early. It was early still, so we're, I went up to the ridge and started calling, and I got him fired up. So he was answering me every time. He probably gobbled back at us 6 times.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, okay, he knows where we are. He's fired up. Let's just see what happens. So we sit down on a tree.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm next to you, and we're talking about where he might come, and he might circle this way, and he might circle this way, all that stuff. And then it's like, he gobbles down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot, this bird is coming. Like, get your gun up. This bird is on. Like, he closed the distance. He closed the distance.
And when he called that time, I felt this like surge of like, oh shoot, this is like actually real now.
I think you said something a little different, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
This episode of TG Garage Talks podcast is brought to you in part by Black's Barbecue. The original Black's Barbecue has been serving Central Texas and our nation since 1932. Ship barbecue nationwide at blacksbarbecue.com or visit in Central Texas.
So it was like, we might see him. And so I got like propped up on the tree. And at this point I started like shaking a lot. He was telling me to like stop moving, obviously, because they can see you really well. And but I was like, I feel like I had no control over my body.
The bird is like 60 yards away, and I'm beside Austin, and all I can see is his right knee, and his right knee's like, I'm like, bro, you gotta stop moving. And he's like, I can't help it. Yeah,
I swear I was trying, but I don't.
No, it's just the adrenaline. That's like part of like why it's so fun.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like, dang, I have no like bodily discipline. I can't like stop my body from moving. So I don't know. I was trying not to move, but I obviously was. And so
the turkey hangs up like at 70 yards, 60 yards.
Yeah.
On the other side of this pine thicket, and he's just strutting back and forth, and he's just wanting us to come to him, right? We're the hen, he's the tom. He's waiting for us to walk around the corner and go to him, and obviously we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And so finally he starts gobbling at us, and like every time he would gobble, he'd be 5 steps closer.
Yeah.
And 5 steps closer.
Mm-hmm. And it felt like a really long time.
It was eternity.
It felt really long. It probably was like, I mean, how long do you think it actually was, like, when we were in that moment with him?
He probably sat out there for 30 minutes. Yeah. Which is a really long time when you're got your head down on a gun like that.
Yeah. So it felt like it was really tense for a while. So eventually, he kind of starts to he gobbles again. And this time it's like so loud that he's like right there. Like, basically, we just can't see him. He's behind some pine trees. And I started to get so stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to actually like pull the trigger on this thing if I see it.
Right.
And so he
and I'm like, safety off. And that's when you were like, oh dang.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, I was like, oh shoot. So that was stressful. So anyways, we see the bird, like he kind of like starts to like creep out from behind the trees a little bit. And I was like, is he close enough yet? And you were like,
nope. I was like, nope, still too far. He needs to come another 10 yards. He needs to come 10 yards.
So I was like dying, because I was like, oh my gosh.
He's right there. You can see him after all that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Part of like when you have to do something scary, it's better to do it, like just get it over with and not prolong it. And so for me, like being uncomfortable when you were like, no, he's not close enough, I was like, I have to like continue in this
yeah, for sure. That's so true.
Yes, I was sitting in the tension like, oh my gosh, I just want to be over. And that was only like, maybe a minute, not even.
Oh, it seems like forever though when you're in it.
Yeah, it felt really long. And so eventually he gets a little bit closer, and you were like, shoot him, I think is what you said.
Yeah, so he started coming to our right, dropping down the hill, and he was going to circle around below us. And when he got past this certain point, you were not going to have a shot. It was kind of like the last window. And I was like, oh boy, he's breaking right. Like it's now or never.
Yeah.
And so Yep, yep, yep. I got on my call and he stuck his neck up. I was like, shoot him there. Bow!
Yeah. So I remember yours, he had told me the night before, like, when you shoot it, I'm gonna get up immediately and run after it if you hit it. I'm gonna get up and start running towards it. And that's exactly what happened when I pulled the trigger and you immediately stood up and you were sprinting towards
Because it
it.
was a poke. It was a long shot. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a very long shot for
Yeah.
a shotgun on a turkey, and turkeys are tough. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, what did you see?
Yeah. So, well, it's funny. I remember before I shot it, I remember thinking to myself, like, he's gonna be far away. I gotta like think about where I'm gonna aim and like make sure my sights are lined up. I don't even actually remember where I was aiming anymore. Like I was so tense, like I kind of forgot where I was aiming. Like I can't describe it to you, but I obviously I hit him somewhere.
You
'Cause-
did?
So
No, dude, you did so great. It was
yeah,
awesome. We celebrated, took hero pics, all the things,
yeah,
jumped up and down,
yeah. It was
screamed like girls. Like it was awesome.
yeah, it
You
was
did really great.
yeah.
It was a really fun hunt. You did awesome. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty crazy when you ran towards him and like you took off ahead of me. Like after I hit him, I saw him like flapping around, and I like hadn't moved yet. I was just kind of like watching, and I like put my safety back on, was just kind of watching, and after like 15 seconds, I was like, "Oh shoot, I think I just like it actually just happened." Like I think I actually just did
Yeah,
it. I was like, I think I actually just did it, and I felt this wave of like, oh my gosh, it's over. Like I have to like the tension. Like I saw a
yeah,
ton of adrenaline, but the
yeah.
like, yeah. So I walked over to you, and yeah, you were like, "Dude, you shot a turkey." You came up and grabbed me and hugged me and stuff. That was really fun. And yeah, we took pictures and stuff. And so yeah, I mean,
Well, that is an experience
yeah.
that you hopefully will never forget.
No, yeah,
I
I
know
hope
I
we
won't. It was so special to be there.
yeah.
So, as we start to the reason we love there's several reasons why we love doing stuff like this at training ground. But for your own story and your own walk with your own walk with the Lord and kind of where He's brought you, are there any like parallels or lessons from the past 2 days that might then you might like connect the dots to as far as your own spiritual journey?
Yeah. Um, several things. I think the first one is just taking risks, like doing something that might not turn out well or might be uncomfortable. God is I've been a very cautious person kind of my whole life, been very I like to plan things out beforehand and
Hmm.
think through something before I do it and kind of know all the details figured out. And so like winning this random like,
Yeah, right.
raffle for a turkey hunt and then just kind of randomly driving you were like basically a stranger to me like I'd met you like once barely.
Yeah.
And so and I'm already like not someone who is, normally would go hunting on their own. And so it was just a lot of like I was given an opportunity to do something that just seemed very out of like character for me anyway and abnormal. But I felt like I should because what I think what God has been teaching me a lot recently is like the importance of like just stepping out and doing something in the moment as it comes up without it being planned all the way through, like taking a risk to do something and seeing how you feel about it, even if it's not always planned, like, and trust what's gonna happen, like, just be willing to take a risk and go on an adventure,
Mm.
and so that's kinda what this was for me, like, I was uncomfortable about it, it was really not my nature, um, and but, I was the one who won the raffle, and so it felt like I should step out and do this even though I wouldn't normally do it, um, and so I think just that was, God kind of called me out to do something uncomfortable, like, pretty uncomfortable for me, and, and really it was no credit to myself, like, I was very impressed with, like, the way you were, like, tracking the turkey, all the stuff that was going on, like, all the, like, the strategy and nuance of hunting and everything you were doing, and I'd, like, just have no experience, I would not have been able to do any of that, like, really all I did was pull the trigger, but being willing to step out and do that was hard for me, it was uncomfortable for me, but I'm really glad I did now, and thankful for, kind of God allowing the things to unfold that led me to come and do this random thing. Um, and so, again, I say random, you know, um,
Yeah, man. I don't. Yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah, I don't think it was random at all. I
But
think the Lord had a purpose in it, and it's
yeah,
cool. Like that
yeah,
parallel, man. When we say yes to what the Lord has for us, it more times than not is always scary.
yeah,
It always is, right?
yeah,
There's this thing about faith that, golly,
yeah,
invites us into this risky business of
yeah,
following Jesus. So,
yeah. The other thing that had been on my mind, there was really two. That was one, just kind of the risk taking, and
hmm
the other thing that was on my mind more, is kind of back, when this cookout happened, where the raffle happened back in
hmm
January at Tech. At that time, I had been reading a lot of material by an author named John Eldredge. He wrote this book called these books on masculinity called Wild at Heart and Fathered by God. One of the ideas in those books that he puts forth is that masculinity is sort of bestowed on someone and passed on
hmm
through either your father or through a company of other men around you. Um, and when I first heard about like Training Ground and the Turkey Raffle, I looked you guys up on your website, and on their website, there's this line, this little blurb that says, uh, "Masculinity is bestowed," and I was like, "Oh, okay, so this is an idea that's like, in more than one place. That's interesting." I was reading about this.
There's a theme happening in your life
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. So it's sort of a theme. I was like, okay,
hmm
interesting. Sure, I'll go to their cookout. That sounds cool. And then, I won the raffle. And so being here, I was thinking about that and just like, I hope I can explain this in a way that makes sense. Sometimes, like, our fathers, they have a ministry to us without words almost in bringing us along into something that challenges us, where it's not even necessarily the words they say when they invite us into that, but just like drawing us into a challenge, inviting us out and to do something that we might think we're incapable of or we're afraid to do. Um, and being present with us through that whole journey, but having us do it was on my mind a lot. Um, in not to like bring him up again, but John Eldridge in Fathered by God, and I think it's chapter 2, he tells this story about how he went, fly fishing for the first time, and he was, like, kinda bad at it, was fumbling and didn't know what he was doing, and he met this, like, master fly fisher, and John Eldridge felt like kinda like an idiot in the presence of this guy, like, "Oh, this dude's, like, super experienced, he's pointing out all these things I'm doing wrong, like, obviously, I don't know what I'm doing." But that guy, like, kinda helped him and trained him and to become better at fly fishing. And, they never talked about anything spiritual or, any, like, super deep stuff or whatever. He just kinda helped him become better at fly fishing and helped him actually catch fish. And John Eldridge remarks about that experience, he says, I realized that God had fathered me through this man, that God had pointed out an insecurity, a fear of mine, and had brought someone in to challenge me to take me out, take a risk, and to teach me something. And so he came away from that experience like thankful to God for this man who had taught him fly fishing. That's kind of what I was thinking about with this. I was thinking about like God is fathering me through this experience, like drawing me out here into the woods and in a place very out of my comfort zone, doing something I wouldn't normally do. Um, but God is actively involved in it, um, and walking me through in it. And so I had this sense while I was with you that like, God is here. God knows I'm uncomfortable with this, but this is a good thing. Like it's good that I'm here. It's good that God is drawing me out into this. And I think God does that with us all the time. We're just not always aware of all the ways he's
hmm
fathering us. We're not aware of the things he's doing, we run into a challenge and we're just like, oh shoot, this is a challenge or I messed up or whatever. We're not thinking about how maybe that's not just a screw up on our part. Maybe that's God fathering us into something. teaching us something. And being able to be aware of that in the moment, like to catch that in the moment when it's happening and realize that maybe this is happening because God is fathering me through this is a very comforting, like empowering experience. And so I thought that while we were out there, like, especially when it started to get tense, I thought about like, God is fathering me through this. Like, this is an uncomfortable thing for me. And that was just really encouraging. Something that's been on my mind is, I think in today's culture, especially people my age, I mean, really all ages, but I feel like in my generation, kind of one of the challenges to God or to being a Christian is people don't trust God the Father. They have a suspicion towards God as a father. Um, I led a Bible study this semester with a friend in my dorm, and there was this girl that was coming to our Bible study, and we asked her kind of towards the end of the study, so how do you feel about like, God, Jesus, like the Bible? She was like kind of Christian. She'd been raised in like sort of a church culture, but she was sort of unsure where she felt about a lot of things. And so we asked her like, how do you feel about um, you know, God and the Bible after going through this Bible study? And she said something that was really insightful to me. She said, I trust Jesus. I really love Jesus and I want to be like him, but I have a really hard time trusting God the Father. It's very uncomfortable. And so something I am passionate about is that God is a good father. Like, he is someone who can be trusted. God our Father can be trusted. And Jesus even says in, I'm not sure which gospel, but he talks about, if any of your sons, he's talking to a group of fathers, if any of your sons ask for bread, would you give him a snake? No, of course you're not going to do that. And so if you're evil, but you know how to give good gifts to your children, then how much more would God the Father give good gifts to you? It's like even back then, people were suspicious of, can I trust God? Is God really a good father? Even back then, people wrestled with that. And Jesus had to confront them about that. Like, no, he is. He is good. And so an experience like this, just as John Eldridge was saying, I went fly fishing. We didn't necessarily talk about anything spiritual, but I came back realizing God had fathered me through something difficult. I feel like that's what this was. And we have talked about spiritual stuff here too, but even just the experience of like drawing out and doing this, like, even if we didn't talk about anything, specifically in the Bible or about God, even just doing it is a ministry in and of itself. It speaks even of itself. And so, um, yeah. So God is a good father. He wants the best for us. And when we're afraid or uncomfortable, he draws us out in a loving way to do something, to grow us. And so I'm really thankful that I did this, and I feel like God taught me something. God helped me grow doing this. So yeah,
Well, man, it's been a privilege to hear some of your story over the past couple of days, and I'm just so proud of how you walked through the whole journey. It was so fun to do it with you. So
yeah.
thanks so much for sharing a little bit of your story.
Thank you. No, that was actually it was fun too. Yeah, you were so excited when we got it. You were like, you had so much energy.
When we got back to the cabin, I was like, all right, you got to go journal. You got to go write some stuff down. Like, whatever just happened this morning was on purpose. You got to go write it down. So, that's great. Thanks so much. It's good to know you. All right,
sir.
See you guys.